Hey everybody, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. I am here in the best of 5 between Tasteless, here in the top right of Polypoid, and Lovesnow, or really I didn't ask him, it could be Lovesnow, in the top left. Yeah, this is just a best of 5, like kind of a fun Showmatch series that these two decided to play against each other. And thought you guys might like a little change. You know, Tasteless obviously being around since the beginning of time and casting so much. Kind of fun to see him in an actual competitive match here. So right now, as you can see up above, Tasteless does lead 1-0. That was like a pretty straightforward macro game. Tasteless ended up gaining a huge advantage off of a counterattack that Lovesnow didn't quite clean up correctly. So we'll see if he can do a little bit better here. Now, the map is Polypoid, like I previously mentioned. It's another just solid, good macro map. Now, that's not to say that we're going to have a game that looks like that Vermeer game we just had. In fact, I'm a little bit surprised we didn't have, like, maybe a little bit more aggression on one side or the other. There was, like, a little bit of harassment by Lovesnow, but Tasteless mostly sat back, made nexuses, you know, got himself into a position where he had a couple of big decisions to make, made them, and took the game. So Tasteless is going to go ahead, throw down that gateway, and go for a scout. Nothing too big happening in this early game, it looks like. So I'm going to take this moment to thank you for watching ArtosisCasts. Do let me know in the comments if occasionally having a fun match like this is something that you'd like to see. Like, again, obviously these guys are not pro gamers. I normally just keep professional players on the channel. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it would be fun to mix it up a little bit and get some Tasteless action in there. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Obviously, the more fun show matches won't be as often. I've done a few things like that in the past, like some LOL pro gamers, you know, playing some StarCraft and stuff like that. Some of the higher ranking women's players as well and stuff like that. And people seem to have liked it. But anyways, leave a comment, and yeah, I'll take that into consideration when choosing the various matches that we put on here each and every day. We being me. All right. Anyways, looks like Tasteless going to scout Lovesnow last. Pretty standard build. No Zealot being made or anything. Has that Cybernetics core going to be finishing. And we'll see if Lovesnow does that same type of thing we saw before, right? Like, last game, he scouted him first. Like, Lovesnow scouted Tasteless first, just like we see here once again. And he decided to go, like, one Marine Command Center, which, if you can get away with that, it's amazing. Now, obviously, if the Dragoon walks directly to the base, you're in trouble. So this is something that has to be decided pretty quickly here. Lovesnow is actually not making another Marine, so it seems like that's what he's trying to do. I think he's just counting on the Dragoon chasing the SCV, right? But again, if the Dragoon walks across the map, a lot can go wrong. We'll see. Maybe he'll make a bunker. Like, you could make a bunker here and it's fine. Okay, the SCV running away from the Dragoon. And is the Dragoon going to just chase it? It looks like it. It looks like it's basically right-clicked on it. Tasteless sending a probe down to go ahead and expand. The SCV bringing him on a wild goose chase right now. So yeah, he won't attack, but, you know, definitely something that's a little bit dangerous. Right? If Tasteless checks out the replays in between this match, he could see that this is a pattern that's emerging and just send his very first unit across the map. Because, like, the Dragoon could be there right now, right? And the Dragoon easily slaughters all of this. You have to bring a bunch of SCVs down. It gets really messy. You're losing mining time. And while it's probably not, like, just a straight win with one Dragoon at the beginning of the game, you definitely will gain an advantage there. So anyways, as the SCV gets caught, he goes ahead and throws down that bunker. More Marines being made. Add-on on the way. The Vulture full health, so should do a little bit better than the Vulture we saw last game, which did get hunted down and killed off. Didn't get that much scouting, honestly. And yeah, looks like everything's safe. All right, so we have a pretty normal-looking macro opener again. There's a quick robo from Tasteless. Nice part of his SimCity as well. You can see he's really setting up to be able to block things like Vulture drops. You know, you can put another building up here and just make that. That would be tight, so you can't get through. And actually, this pylon place, I'm not 100% sure. I feel like it's supposed to be up one matrix from here, right? So, like, the tip of it there, like that instead. But I'm not 100% on that. I'm not sure if a Vulture gets through there or not. I know one does get through there, but of course, that's for a second pylon later. So mines on the way. And it is, once again, one Vulture into Siege Tank into Vulture. So, yeah, he likes that Siege Tank really, really early. Obviously, it can be useful to go ahead and push the Dragoon back. He could pull the Marines out of that bunker and do that pretty quickly. 3 Gateway, once again, for Tasteless. So, he really likes this 3 Gateway Observer play. You know, I think this is something that can keep you incredibly safe. Like, anytime it's 3-Gate Observer, there's not a whole lot that your opponent is able to do, like attacking wise. Like basically, there's no build from Terran that would ever kill this, right? Like you go like 2-fact after Command Center, that type of thing. This just smashes it. In fact, if you go 2-fact before Command Center against this type of thing, this will stop it very oftentimes. It'll come down to control and decision making, but like this is the build you want to go for after your Nexus, if you think you might be getting 2-facted. So, yeah, very, very good defense. And, again, sometimes you can get offense with this as well. Like, the amount of Dragoons he's about to have, right? So he's about to have 7 Dragoons out in the map, plus an Observer. Obviously, 8 is a little bit stronger, because 8 2-shots a tank. But there's no Siege. So there is that possibility of the counterattack again. I mentioned it in the previous game. Tasteless tried it for, like, a second. It wasn't super fast or anything, but... seemed you know, he was at least poking and prodding. Now the Vultures have speed, so there's some potential here for some counter harassment. Okay, he actually catches the probe, but the probe already made the Nexus. Still, that's really good scouting, and losing the Vulture but getting the probe is at least some sort of trade on your investment there. So yeah, the 3rd Nexus, he knows the timing of that. It's pretty quick, but it's not like lightning quick. So Lovesnow should be feeling fine, like not threatened by the speed of that. It's not like Tasteless takes that and then instantly macros out to a max or something like that, right? That's kind of what you're thinking about. Like if you scout a 5-minute 3rd Nexus, that's what you're going to be thinking. Like, oh god, he's going to be maxed so quickly. This is terrible. What do I do? But in this case, it's like Tasteless played it very safe. Like this is totally fine what he's done here. I do like that we have a couple mines and the Vulture to catch. This is the most likely 4th base location. We'll see if he does anything else with that Vulture. Looks like he's just going to leave the mines to block the Nexus for now and send it elsewhere for a bit more scouting. Siege mode, not quite done, but still on the way. Looks like Lovesnow going to continue his upgrade quest here, getting that Academy. Everything pretty much on time. And once again, really good SCV production. Got to hand it to him there. Still a little bit ahead of Tasteless, although Tasteless should probably shoot up above him since his 3rd Nexus is finishing. Has that shuttle getting ready to pick up a Reaver and maybe go do some harassment. We did skip that speed shuttle upgrade this time. Oh, there it is. Okay, just as I say that, he does get it started. Ooh, and the second robot. I was talking about this last game, and he didn't do it. But this game looks like it will be the case. Oops. Definitely want to give that vision back. But yeah, this is like a very powerful type of strategy right now with the double robo, where you get to, I don't know, the way I like to put it, right? Like it can be used for harassment, right? You have all these speed shuttles and you can backstab with it, and that was initially one of the things that everyone talked about and thought about with this double robo build, is the fact that you can kind of do like earlier recalls in a way in the Terran base. And that certainly is powerful. That certainly is big. But the thing I always think about with it is it's great for battling the Terran army, right? It makes it hard engagement-wise for Terran because you can kind of get your, you know, your Zealots, your Reavers, and your High Templars anywhere you want super, super fast against the Terran forces. So, like, whenever I personally see something like this, where it's like double robo, lots of speed shuttles, we're going to see a lot of Psystorm, no doubt, right? He's getting to Citadel now. It takes a little bit to get to Psystorm, but I always think about how I need to make sure my stuff is spread. Obviously, I do need the anti-air defense around my main base and everything to stop him from doing the backstabs, but really it's more about the fact that Psystorms can ravage my army very quickly, so you need to be careful. I feel like it's one of the hardest builds to attack against. Harder to attack against than Arbiter, I would say, and certainly harder than Carrier, which you just must attack against, so there's no real debate about that, right? Against the other builds with Terran, you can decide, like, oh, I want to attack or I don't want to attack, and just kind of play it that way. Not against carrier. So anyways, double speed shuttles out, 2 Reavers, 4 Zealots. They're actually going to fly over these Vultures. So that actually gives a lot of intel. I feel like if I see 2 speed shuttles going in this direction, I start making a lot of turrets down here, because it seems like that's probably the idea Tasteless has here, right? He's kept this pylon over here, so he has like a place to park these. Doesn't have to worry about being seen in this area. And then he has, like, for instance, if Lovesnow starts to move out, he can just, like, backstab in. And it looks like he's just going to go ahead in and drop right away. Now, the Dragoons do pick off a few of these Vultures. And here we go. Here's that big drop. Oh, my God. Ooh, some big Scarabs to start here for Tasteless. Getting quite a few SCVs. And this is just something you have to deal with right away. The Zealots are going to slow everything down from coming in and ruining Tasteless' time. And now he's targeting this depot. So he doesn't have the plus damage, I don't believe. So it's going to take like 5 volleys. But he's going to kill a lot of depots here, man. Oh, my God. That was a lot of depots. Look, he's basically supply block now, 115 to 118. But the Reavers are going to kill even more. This is such an effective drop. Such an effective drop here. Oh, my God. He's going to kill even more depots. Man, I would be absolutely screaming when something like this occurs. All right, tanks with that first shuttle. Ooh, I think he'll get out just barely with this. Oh, no! He loses both Reavers. The range on that Goliath, getting that final hit. Very good from Lovesnow to pick that off at least. By the way, Tasteless on those 4 bases. Very crucial for the double robo style. It's generally done off of 4 bases for the majority of the time. You know, like, basically what I'm trying to say here, it's hard to put this exactly in words, but the 5th base comes a lot later with the style Tasteless is using. You sit on 4 bases a lot longer. But anyways, he's dealt a lot of damage to Lovesnow. Lovesnow is still supply blocked. He's got to build a lot of depots up again. In the meantime, Tasteless actually is getting Scarab damage for his Reavers. So that makes it that just 2 Reavers do 2 volleys and kill 4 depots. Right? We saw it take a little bit longer. It'll just go quicker next time. So it is a good upgrade. It is actually a good upgrade. We don't see it very often, but you can use it with this strategy. And the thing is, you don't have to either. Like, if you don't want to get that, it is kind of expensive at 200. But if you're going to make a lot of Reavers, it can really help out. Like, it gets a Goliath down to, like, 1 health, basically. Right? It hurts the tank even more so that it only takes 2 Zealot hits or 1 +3 Goon hit to kill it. Well, I guess that depends on armor upgrades. +2 tanks would take an additional. But anyways, you get my point. Okay, so Tasteless right now, good chunk of units in the center. What do we have for observers? The observer, he has 1 here. That's actually a very good observer. And then he's got this pylon here and this pylon here. So he basically has vision everything. Like, you could get some units down this way that he might not keep track of, but there's actually a pylon wall over here. So it's like, okay, I'm not sure where you would go with those units. Maybe you could, like, there might be a path to getting some probes, but, like, you'd have to really be creative with Terran to find it. Lovesnow adding a lot of factories. Seems like this is something he likes to do on 3 base. You know, instead of taking that 4th base here, he is powering up really heavily. So he's going up to 9 facts. And 9 facts is like, we're hitting peak factory numbers, okay? Most bases can't even really contain max depots and more than 9 factories. I feel like that's part of the reason why that's basically all the factories you get, even at the pro level. Sometimes you can see Terrans get up to like 11 or something if they're the right base, or maybe you get another main base, or maybe you like start putting factories down here or something. But yeah, 9 is like a lot of production for Terran. Over on Tasteless' side, looks like we have, what is this, 10 gates there. And he'll probably, when he takes another main base, make a few more as well. But yeah, 10 gates is pretty solid with the double robo because you're producing a lot of units out of the robos as well. Looks like he is getting up into Arbiter Tech also, which I think is the best follow-up for the double speed shuttle play. I think it is good to very slowly get into Arbiters, because the thing about the speed shuttle play that Tasteless is showing here is you don't really have a kill move. You whittle them down somewhat, but like Terran really well defended, it's hard to kill them with this. So yeah, the Arbiter, I think, can open up more options for that. Now, coming in with a lot of these Vultures, this is a little weakness for Tasteless. All of his Zealots were here, and they don't have speed yet. So he actually gets a decent amount of the Zealots, and he's actually killing a good amount of probes here. Lovesnow with a very strong and sudden move with these Vultures. Definitely didn't think he'd get that much. That is a sick Psystorm, though. Really helps to clean these up very, very quickly. The Reavers will finish them off. But at the end of that, like 52 probes against 59 SCVs, not too bad. Like, he really did hurt the economy of Tasteless, although there's still quite a bit of bank here. I think he's sent a couple Zealots here, so definitely thinking about expanding. You can see him sending a probe there now as well. But wow, all right. Maybe that kind of put him back into it. You know, if they're at a very similar worker count, and then Lovesnow kind of maxes from here and does a slow push. Yeah, maybe that could end up working out. Tasteless unable to remax quite as quickly since he did take that damage. By the way, 3-2 upgrades seem to be like almost done here. Yeah, that makes a huge difference. Obviously, Psystorm doesn't care what upgrades you have. So that's going to be like the main thing from Tasteless here is how good are his Psystorms. Now, another huge Vulture attack comes in. Oh my god, only a single Photon Cannon here. So he's going to lose some more probes. And I got to tell you what, this went from being a game where I thought Tasteless, after that drop, I was like, oh man, he is in such control of this game. But right now, Lovesnow definitely fighting back. He has killed a lot of probes in the last couple of minutes here. He's killed a lot of Zealots pretty much for free. You can see they have similar banks, more workers for Lovesnow, more army supply for Lovesnow. That's a big deal. And look at this. Now he's going to raid the bottom right, so this base is not even going to get up. He can kill all this. Like, he can lay some mines and just target that Nexus, and that is going to fall. That is going to go down. Tasteless coming down here really quickly with his Dragoons. We don't see an observer in the area, so that is a huge issue. His observer is coming, but it'll be a little bit slower. Definitely in a situation like this, if you think you can get the Nexus, you want to target that right away, because Vultures take a long time to kill a building. After they get through those shields, it takes a while to chunk through the actual hit points. Looks like I think he's going to just get it. Tasteless probably... he's trying to come up to defend it, but it's just too low on health. And so that Nexus does have to go down. A good counterattack once again from Lovesnow. And look at this. The entire time, maxing out. It looks like it's time for Lovesnow to move forward. Very Zealot heavy. A lot of Dragoons out of position here. Where are the High Templars? We have 2 Reavers there. We have 3 High Templars here. He's going to need good storms. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I think Tasteless is in a lot of trouble here. As Lovesnow runs forward. Like, this is a big, big army. Let's see what storms he can get. Tasteless attack moving in. His Zealot's going to tank a lot of damage here. The Reavers come out. Okay, they hit a single siege tank, but get targeted down very, very quickly. Here come the Psystorms. Oh, beautiful Psystorms here all over the Terran army. And that definitely does a lot to wipe out those siege tanks. Maybe Tasteless still is fine. He is cleaning up quite a bit. He might end up losing this Nexus, especially if he ends up targeting it down. Looks like this tank actually too close, which is kind of funny. And, oh my god, he only needs one more tank hit. You only need one more tank hit. It's a 35 health. Oh, Tasteless saves the Nexus somehow, some way. Taking another base down at 6 o'clock. His supply is pretty low, but honestly, when you look at the armies, like, look at this army. We got a lot of High Templars. We got some Zealots in there, an Arbiter, a decent amount of Dragoons. Then you look over here, it's like, okay, 4 tanks, 1 Goliath, and Vultures. That's hard to attack again. I could see him sniping the Nexus if he realizes just how low it is. But that's about it. Well, I mean, honestly, though, he does have a big bank, doesn't he? Keeping that supply shooting upwards. Tasteless a little bit low. Trying to get that bottom right base up. Good production. You know, those 9 factories definitely paying off. But let's not forget, his mineral patches are getting low. It looks like he has a command center floating over the pylon, so definitely needs to get that up. Little bit of harassment coming in. The Vultures being sent into the natural here, killing off quite a few. Still hasn't gotten that Nexus. So good for Tasteless keeping that base up. But here's the thing. Lovesnow, like, if he doesn't get this mining ASAP, it's going to be like one punch that he gets, right? He's out. He's out. He's getting very low. You really need 2 mining bases. Although his supply is really superior, if Tasteless knocks that army down one time, and gets probes to these bases, I think he straight wins. Well, we will see about that. Tasteless clearing the center. 4 High Templars in a shuttle, going elsewhere, maybe to try to harass this command center. He's soft flying over here. He's got to know there should be a lot of SCVs on the way. There's like a lot of SCVs around. A few of the units getting a little bit stuck there. Uh-oh. We might be in a broken replay right here. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay. Sometimes when that happens, there are ways replays can break, and in fact, even observing a game can break, guys. Like, there's no one really working on this game anymore, unfortunately. Oh my god, the EMP! Big moment right there. Tasteless trying to shove his way up the ramp. And, well, he is going to be able to kill off this small amount of units, but there's a lot more coming, so I don't think he loses the command center or anything. Maybe he ends up losing a few SCVs, but even a flank of Vultures coming in. So Lovesnow is going to be able to secure this, and that means that Tasteless in some serious trouble. He's lost this 6 o'clock Nexus. No probes here. Uh-oh. Finally, this Nexus should end up falling. Gets it. And I tell you what, I thought with the double shuttle, Tasteless was going to take this game. He definitely had an advantage. But Lovesnow, with this consistent Vulture harassment, sending them around, rotating them about, killing Nexuses, killing probes, killing Zealots, has worked his way right back into this game, and looks like he should be able to take it as he secures this base. Tasteless really doesn't have anything left over, and I think that that is going to be a good game, which is exciting because it's going to tie us up 1-1. Looks like the last base going to be under it. Well, I guess not the last base, but that's it. GG, tied up 1-1.